strong magnitude 6.5 earthquake strikes the Greek island of Crete in the Mediterranean. Very strong shaking and strong aftershocks continue. The powerful quake struck the Greek island today, about 140 kilometers south of its capital, Heraklion, according to the European Mediterranean Seismological Center and, of course, USGS. Testimonies gathered on site show that light movement was felt as far away as about 350 kilometers or 217 miles. There appears, however, to be no reports so far of major damages. Let's go to the maps to see what's going on. Okay, here we are on the USGS worldwide earthquake maps. This is our 6.6. They have USGS has it at 6.6. Okay, 6.6. Hierapetra, Greece. This is the island of Crete, as we can see here. We've also had this one here as well. Okay, this was yesterday. This is today. 6.6. And this is Greece. Athens is somewhere around here. And this is the island of Crete. And this is, just to show you, this is Israel right here. This is Cyprus. This is Egypt, the Red Sea. Okay, this is Crete right here. And we can see some of the major, let's go into the major aftershocks. Right here, a depth of 17 kilometers. And let's go to this one. That was the next one. 17 kilometers depth. And again, this one, 4.7. And this one, 4.7, as you can see. Okay, so these are, it just happened. This just happened a few hours ago. Okay, where was this? Let's see. Oh, that was up on the island of Crete yesterday. And let's go to our Sizewell Berkeley map. This is it. We can see it much better. 17 kilometer depth, 6.6. And you can see the amount of activity going on there and the nearby activity. We had this one on the 30th of the month of April, 4.9. And this is all a subduction zone. You can very clearly see it. This is the African plate slamming into the Eurasian plate. And it's a very complex system there because you have the African plate, the Arabian plate, the European plate. And let's go to our shaking so we can see 21 people reported it, feeling it, but it shook up the whole island, obviously. Let's go to our shake map and the aerial. And shaking, as you can see, it must have been felt all the way to the north shore of Africa, as you can see. And let's put in some tectonics. Okay. Unfortunately, the USGS stops the block right here. But again, if you were to extrapolate it, you can see that obviously all of this North Nile Delta area of Egypt would have been shaken. I would venture to say that even Athens felt it up there, if you extrapolate the lines, as you can see. So let's go to our information about this. The Mediterranean region is seismically active due to the northward convergence 4 to 10 millimeters a year of the African plate with respect to the Eurasian plate, the African plate, Eurasian plate. Along complex plate boundary, this convergence began about 50 million years ago and was associated with the closure of the Tethys Sea. The modern day remnant of the Tethys Sea is the Mediterranean Sea. Here, the highest rates of seismicity in the Mediterranean region are along the Hellenic subduction zone right here, as we can see. Hellenic subduction zone of southern Greece, as Crete right there, along the North Anatolian fault zone of western Turkey, which is this one here, and the Calabrian subduction zone right here of southern Italy, right here. And we have Etna erupting as well. Let's remember that. Etna is erupting. We have Sakurajima in Japan erupting, and we have Mount Popo erupting as well. So we have a few active volcanoes erupting. And we do have volcanoes in this area. Okay, Etna is the second most active volcano after Kilauea on the Earth. Now, fault zone, Western Turkey, Calabrian zone of southern Italy, and local high rates of convergence of the Hellenic subduction zone are 35 millimeters per year, associated with back arc spreading throughout Greece and Western Turkey above the subducting Mediterranean oceanic crust. Crustal normal faulting throughout the region is manifestation of extensional tectonics associated with back arc spreading. The region of the Marmara Sea, which is around here, is a transition zone between west and strike slip regime, North Anatolian Fault to the east. The North Anatolian Fault, this one here, accommodates much of the right lateral horizontal motion, 23 to 24 millimeters per year between Anatolian microplate and the Eurasian plate, as the Anatolian microplate is being pushed westward to further accommodate closure of the Mediterranean Sea basin caused by the collision of the African and the Arabian plates in southeast Turkey, subduction of the Mediterranean seafloor beneath the Tyrrhenian Sea at the Calabrian subduction zone causes a significant zone of seismicity around Sicily and southern Italy, around here. That's where we have Etna going off right now. Active volcanoes are located above intermediate depth earthquakes in the Cyclades and Aegean Sea and in southern Italy. So we have these earthquakes here. Volcanoes. Mediterranean region has a written record several centuries long documenting pre-instrumental seismicity. Pre-20th century earthquakes have historically caused widespread damage across central and southern Greece, Cyprus, Sicily, Crete, the Nile Delta in Egypt, northern Libya, the Atlas Mountains of Morocco here, of North Africa, and the Iberian Peninsula in Spain. In 1903, magnitude 8.2 Kythera earthquake in Greece, and in 1926, 7.8 in Rhodes. Earthquakes are the largest instrumentally recorded Mediterranean earthquakes, both of which are associated with subduction zone tectonics. Between 1939 and 1999, a series of devastating magnitude 7 earthquakes, strike slip earthquakes propagated westward along the North Anatolian Fault, beginning in 1939 with the 7.8 Erzincan quake on the east end of the North Anatolian Fault line, and this one here in 1999, 7.6 Izmit earthquake. 3 weeks after that, we had the Athens earthquake, where we have the shanty town that we support of our church, St. Sozon. Those people are still living there over 20 years later. So, the large earthquakes throughout the Mediterranean region have also been known to produce significant and damaging tsunamis. One of the more prominent historical earthquakes in Lisbon, November 1st, 1755, whose magnitude has been estimated from non-instrumental data to be about 8 magnitude. The 1755 Lisbon earthquake is thought to have occurred within or near the Azores-Gibraltar transform fault, which defines the boundary between African and Eurasian plates off the west coast of Morocco and Portugal. So this is, as we can see, tremendous amount of quake activity still going on there. Okay, and this is the shaking that we saw before. Obviously, if you extend the cutoff square, it must have been felt in the Nile Delta. Oops, sorry. I should go back. What happened to me? What happened? Okay, sorry, I took it off. Okay. Okay, there we go. And you can see those contours. If you extend the, extrapolate the lines, even Athens would have felt it up there. Yeah, Athens is around here, right here. Okay, the hand is right there. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully that was the main shock. And we still have to be aware and alert of what's going on there. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.